I'm going to give a quick overview just on a recycling water project that we've undertaken in Mackay, Mackay in Queensland. So Mackay is on coastal Queensland. It's in a high growth area of Queensland, so we've been driven by the growth in the resources sector, and as a result have had significant pressure placed on our sewage schemes, resulting in a series of upgrades over recent years. We're located on the coast. Our waterways discharge into the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park, and that has drivers associated with nutrients and continually reducing nutrient targets for our discharges. And we're also in a high sugar growing region. So surrounding pretty much all our communities is a lot of agriculture, sugarcane agriculture. Those factors have influenced some of the decisions that we've made around water recycling. So I'll give a quick update on our largest recycling project, the Mackay Water Recycling Project. This was commissioned in 2008, which involved consolidating two sewage treatment plants into one plant. The environmental licence for the project was really underpinned by recycling as a major component. The licence involved targeting almost 90% recycling on a 10-year rolling average, and as a result, we were granted a reduction in our nutrient limits. So normally we'd have to achieve 5 nitrogen and 1 phosphorus, and the licence was relaxed to allow 10 nitrogen and 8 phosphorus based on the high amount of recycling that was being targeted. So the scheme, all the water is directed to cane farms. To manage the scheme, we've got almost 4 gigalitres of storage, which is around about half the annual flow into the sewage treatment plant. Well, it's 27 on-farm storages, 22 kilometres of distribution pipe work, and irrigation area of 3,200 hectares. We're managing the scheme was set up with a recycled water management plan under the current Queensland legislation. That involves a recycled water management plan and quality processes around managing the water. And as such, in addition to the activated sludge plant, we've also got tertiary filtration and chlorination before it goes on to storages. You can see in the photo there is our largest storage, a 2 gig storage in the middle of the cane farms. So the drivers, some of the specific drivers. When we were planning for the plant, it was in the middle of the drought time. The irrigators that we supply water to have limited access to surface water, and they also have limited access to groundwater with saltwater intrusion into the groundwater supplies in the area. But probably the most significant driver that drove us towards reuse was the significant state and federal government subsidies that were provided at the time, with 2/3 of the total project cost being funded by the state and federal governments. The project is undoubtedly something that we're proud of Mackay, but it has its challenges. So Mackay, being tropical Queensland, has a highly variable rainfall. In 2010, at the start of the graph, we saw one of the wettest years on record, with 3.5 metres rain, about double our normal rainfall, and that plays havoc with providing recycled water for reuse, with almost no take-up of recycled water by our growers that year. That in turn causes us problems with how we manage our effluent discharge licence, because we just physically can't store a year's worth of effluent to then reuse when there is demand from the irrigators. So they're probably the major challenges, is the interrelationship between the reuse regulations and our effluent discharge regulations, along with the rainfall patterns. Then just finally, would we do it again? So there's a number of factors that play a role in whether we decide to recycle water or not. Financial viability of the project. The landscape's changed in Queensland. State and federal government subsidies essentially no longer exist for the provision of recycled of the trunk infrastructure at all, and that impacts on financial viability. The regulation's changing, has been changing in terms of how both recycled water is managed in Queensland and how effluent discharge licences are applied. The Queensland government becoming much more outcome focused in the way that they're regulating sewage treatment plants. For recycling to be a success in the future, we need flexibility to tailor how we manage our effluent across our schemes. So there's two examples of what we would do again. We've had to make investment decisions at 2 treatment plants since we've invested in the Mackay recycling project. At Serena, we made a decision a couple of years ago not to recycle at all. And that was on the basis that it would have added, if you look at the total project cost, added 20% to the total project cost. If you just look at the cost of the treatment infrastructure, significantly more than 20% to add a recycling scheme. And on top of it, all expensive and escalating prices in water and sewage supply infrastructure, there's just no way that council could justify that. We're currently in the planning stages for another sewage treatment plant upgrade at Mackay to the west. Once again, another treatment plant located in the Mackay pumps. And we're considering and will likely include recycling, but only as a in the mix with a number of other discharge effluent discharge options, including nutrient trading with the local cane farms and wet weather discharges. And it's likely then that recycling can play a part. And that's Mackay.